present.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay. Good day, everybody. Today we are going to do a practice on how to create a Google landing site. So let me give you an example. Okay, a Google. Sorry, this is the page that we are going to build. So with the Google text and the inputs field and some buttons and the footer. So before we start, the purpose of this practice is to let you to build up your HTML and CSS skill, where the where the CSS skill is the notoriously troubles most of the beginner because of the layout arrangement. So the way to build this landing site is through the flexbox, a concept called the flexbox, which you will be going throughout the course. But I will be showing here and let you guys know what it is. So this is sorry. Let me screenshot this first and then copy into a pen to let you see flexbox. So this is the page that we want to build, and then flexbox is just boxes to do the arrangement, the layout arrangement. And then in this case, I'm going to separate this whole page into separate boxes. First, I will have one boxes for the header, and then another boxes for this text, and then another boxes for this field, the text and the two buttons, another box for this language up until the footer, and then finally a box for the end of the footer until the end of the page. So we are basically building up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main boxes in our HTML file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a new file called the index.html, and from this I'm going to do a Google, and first let me just create the 5 separation space on these 5 boxes. So we have 5 classes, 5 separation. The first, which is the header, and second, third, and fourth will be inside the main, and then the which continue have the last separation, which is called the footer. So for the main, inside main we have 3 more division class, and we name the class as first. The class is called the Google session. This is our second class. The first class will be named as header, and the footer will be named as will be named as the footer container. So now we are basically building out 1, 2, the header for the header, the text for the text, and then the third class search section, third class which is the language, let's name it language section. And then now we have 5 classes which resemble these 5 bosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. The header with the header, the text with text, search with the search, language section with the language section, and the footer with the footer. So this is the first step of building up our landing page at every project. So now we are going to start to like build out all the text and the buttons in our first section, which is called the header. To do that, we have to link our HTML file with the CSS. To link the CSS file together, we have to call out a link and then a star sheet with a hash graph to the let's name it header.css. So now here we have to create a new folder called header.css. So inside this, we'll be linking the header to our HTML throughout this link. So inside our header, first we have to look up what are the buttons and the text within our first section, which is the header section. We have Gmail, images, and 2 buttons. For this section, we can further divide them into header container. We can further divide them into header container, another color. We have to do a header container so that this boss will be shifted to the left instead of placing at the shifted to right instead of placing at the left by default. So we also have to create another box called the left buttons, which include the Gmail and the images. And then we have the right buttons, which include this these 9 dots and the sign in buttons. So basically we have one header container box with the children of left buttons box and right button box. So 3 more boxes are to be inserted inside it. So let's create 3 more division with the class name. First is the header container. Within this division, we have further 2 different division called left buttons, and then right buttons. So basically, we have already set up the main framework of the header. So now we can start writing inside what are the stuff that we are going to fit in. We have 2 buttons for the Gmail and images for the left buttons section. So we can use the A tag, the hash graph. Now we are not going to make it functional, so we just insert a hashtag inside it with the value hashtag, and then it's a Gmail. For another class, for another button, we will have images. So let me copy and paste. So to verify our code, we have to open a live server. And now we have Gmail and images. And then for the right buttons, we have this 9 dot and the sign in. For 9 dot, we have to first we have to assign a button to it first because it will be containing a picture. So we have button with a class name. Let's give it X button. And then for the picture, we'll go and search for it. Maybe we can just get a picture from here. It's here. And then so wait, a picture. I see. We have to 9 dot X icon faster than here. So we can get the image here. Maybe this one. This one. We copy the image address and then we insert here. No, you have to get the SVG class. So we have, I have a bit confusing now. Yeah, this one. We have to copy element and then paste here. So this is our picture. So we can try to show here. And we have a picture, but the picture is not shown here yet. Don't worry, we can proceed to the next step to do, which is the sign in button. For sign in button, we have to do an division and a class name of the sign in button. So with a head tag of hashtag and sign in. So this will be what we are going to have in our header. So now we can switch to the CSS star sheet so that we can start to do the arrangement for the header layout. For the layout, what we are going to do is first we have to define our body, the whole body. Because for this Google page, if we were just to create all the stuff without defining a specific width or height, then we will be having a scroll bar beside it, and it will be not a very real landing site column. So first we have to give in a margin of 0 first, then padding of 0. Sorry, 0. And then the mean width of 400 ps. So now we can start doing our header star. First we have to, it's my practice to insert a border when we are constructing the layout arrangement. Sorry. So now we have a flex box here. It looks like a box, but it's not yet flex. So we have to displace it as a flex. it's already a flex, but you can't see it because I didn't draw a border for each of the elements inside it. Now I have to do a padding first. The values that I got for the padding and margin I already calculated beforehand. So it takes times for you to find out the values if we were to build from scratch and do the try and error. So don't worry about if you do not why we have to do such value. We have to assign such value to the padding and the margin. And then for the height, we have to put it as a auto. So this is basically the header, the main header. So now we have to do for the header container. Header container means we have actually another box constructing covering all the 3-4 elements in this header. So now we have to do the header container. Again, we have to do a border. Sorry. A border again. Border. Maybe I give it 3 and give it blue. A border. It's weird. We did not have border. So let us proceed first. Maybe we displace a flex. Then with the flex direction of a row is weird, very very weird. Oh shit. Header container. Yes, maybe a typo just now. So we have a border here, and then now it is at the left corner. So we want to make it to the right corner. We have to do the specified content effects and then is it a I either items center maybe it's here. So it should not be happening like this. Weird. I see, because I didn't display direction. Now it's still in a row, so I have to make it as a column. Yeah. So now it's already stretched to the right. Everything is at the right corner. So what I was doing is that the justify content will map all those elements to the right, and then vertical line will map those elements to vertically center. So now the flex direction rule means that inside within this header container, all those elements will have will be arranged in row, mean in a one row instead of in a column. Sorry, in a row instead of a column. So now we have finished up our header container arrangement. We can go to our left button. This may seem weird but it will be fine after finish our arrangement, our CSS arrangement. So for the left button, it's also my practice to build out a border. Okay, very good. Let's see. Yes, a typo again. So as you can notice, we have a small border surrounding two buttons, the Gmail and the images. So let us to compare with this one. Let us to make it to display a flex again, and then the flex direction will be to 0. Now we already keep them in type. And for the padding, I made a padding right of 15 ps. So we have a clear gap between those two groups of elements. And then with a form family of area, area, and then a form size. A form size of 13 ps. Now we have a bit similar to what we have seen in this Google page. Is that just that we have still have some gap to do, and then maybe the underlying stuff. So now continue with the Gmail button first. We could for the Gmail button, for the Gmail button, when let's watch. For Gmail button, we have to do a padding left. Padding left. Padding left. We don't need to consider is there anything else for the left for the Gmail button, because it's nothing else at the left side of the Gmail button. So we can straightly do the padding left for all elements without any concern. The padding left of 15 ps. Okay. Now for each of the Gmail button, effect we refer to the all the effects which are the two elements button. We have to remove the decoration so that the underline will be good again. Okay, so it's supposed to have no underline here. Let's say Gmail button. Where is the Gmail button? Oh, maybe I forgot to. So now maybe we can create a class for it. No. So Gmail button. Suppose let us create a class for the Gmail button. Take this out. Yes. Get this out. And again, another division for the images button. So now we have okay, we have crossed out the underline under the Gmail buttons. Now we can copy this one, paste this one, Then we can copy this, paste this. Now we have both underline disappear. So our next step will be to it's still weird why there is no padding between them. I see, maybe from this. Okay, this button. Yes, we have a Gmail image button. We have padding around them. So now we have to do a hover effect. As you can see, when we hover through this, we will have a underline coming again. So what we are going to do is to playing around with the hover button, with the hover function of both. Control V. Then it might not be the most optimal code. I mean the shortest code to do this function, but at least it can get the work done and very simple and easy for beginner to understand. So this is the decoration underline. Decoration, yes. Control C and Control V. So now, and if we do a hovering, there will be underline showing up. So this almost finished, almost finished for our first session of the first session. Okay, now we are going to deal with the right buttons. The right button, which is more troublesome. For the right buttons, first we need to do the buttons. Before that, I practice the border. Yes, we have a border out, and then only do we do a displace flags with the flash direction of the row. Yes, we are in a row now. So now for the apps button, this one I call it as apps button, application buttons, and the sign button. For the apps button, let us give the color white. Okay. And we have a margin of RAM. That means the one RAM means 16 PS. In this case, I just use one RAM because it's shorter to write 16 than it's shorter to write 1 than 16. So border, now we have a border for it. But since there is no border for the buttons, so we have to make it transparent. Transparent. Okay, now it's transparent. And then the picture haven't come out yet. Never mind. We continue first. And the border radius, give it a very high value. And so we will show out as a circle. And here when we hover it, it will be circling here. Circle. Now we will give it a background color of white. Okay, now it's already seems to be disappear again. And we give it a padding of 8 PS. Okay, it's larger, seems to be larger. Now we have to do a hovering for the S button so that we can see what is happening to a button. Else is right, nothing there. color to give you a background color of the EFF F3. Yes. Yes, we have already a similar color which will be reaching when we hovering button here. But its shape is weird. It's still at the weird shape. Never mind. Now we will be focusing on the images. Before that, we have to really assign a class to it. Now the class is a GBTE because it's come from the Google, the HTML page. We have to assign it as our own one. We call it as apps image. Apps image. And then we back to the CS hash images. Maybe it's still weird. The picture didn't come out. Never mind. We give it a high first. Height of 5 ps. A width of 5 ps. Yes, is there. It's a bit larger than just now. And then maybe we can make it center a bit. Vertical align middle. Okay. It's a minor change. And border radius again. Maybe we test a 2 ps. Doesn't really test. I think we don't need this first. The anything is back in test of 0. Disappearing. Weird. Okay, let's check back to the code. The SVG happening here. We have a class button and SVG. And then we have all those SVG. It's supposed to be right there. SVG class focus view box path. Very weird. So I think we can it's still disappearing. Very weird. So maybe we can SCP one. Is there any help? No. Okay. I didn't face this issue before. So maybe we can skip this first. We can switch to the sign in. For our sign in, we have a class called sign in button. Let me copy. Control C and Control V. And border again. I practice. Build the border first. To build border, and then we have a border right here. Border with a radius of 4 ps. Then we have to do a box sizing of for the box. The color of maybe 1A73E8. This is a color. So now then we have to form family of area again. The Google Light area. Form size of pixel. It's good. Then we have to do a minimum read and one on it of 96 pixel. This is about the size of this 96 pixel from weight of 500 mean we heading first. Do a padding of 10 pixel to down 23 left right. It's about almost the center already, but not yet. Has align center. Yes. And margin top. Yes. Something wrong with I code. No. Just align for the margin top. So it's supposed to be at the right side. Never mind. Height of the thing. The fit content. You already fit content. And then we can shift it down further. Maybe to 10. 15 is pretty fine. Okay. Something good happening here. Now we have a button. We have to do a cursor here. With a pointer. Okay. So now we are constructing the shape and the color of the buttons. Now we have left out the text inside. For text, we have to do a sign button, and color white, and the text decoration and none. Now, almost the same shape. Is that just that the picture is not there yet. Okay, very challenging. Okay, now we hover this one nine button and do a hover. We first have to set the opacity 0.9 and then a box shadow of 1 ps pixel to 0.1, a color of gray. So now when we hover, it will be effect the shadow effect. Okay, now we have a problem. We have an issue with the picture, and it's really very troublesome. Okay, images button, hover, underline images. Now we have a mesh button, index. I didn't copy wrong stuff. F buttons, F images, and then we have close it out. It should be right there. Something wrong. Image, F image. Image, index pointer. Let's do a cursor first because it's quite important to have that kind of effect. When cursor is not functioning, there's really something weird. I read Okay, this is really weird. And we have left the color of the image. We'll go about the image in the color of the text inside these two buttons. For the color, let's see where to. Let's see, color is black. So header contain the left buttons color. Let's see, is that not here, not here. Something weird is happening, especially this image. Okay. Good. Do you have any advice? Because my image is running off for this.
I can suggest maybe I can send in the chat. You can go through this and send in the chat. You can get the any Google icon from here.
I mean this one. Yeah, actually I tried to search for a W3 school already and didn't find any suitable image icon for the 3 button. So I
I
guess
found one. You can try it out. I just send the link in the chat. You can open it up. There's a similar 9 dot icon. You can try it out, and you just have to input the link ref at the header side.
This one, you mean? But
Yep.
this one is not very circular. I mean, the shape are very different. You mean this one? I believe I prefer to continue my this one.
No, no worries.
It's very weird. Let me check the code again. Header. Something missing out. I don't think there's anything wrong about it. Let me check folder, header container, left buttons, Gmail buttons, to the text. Buttons and text, hover, and we have right buttons, apps buttons. Now starting from apps button, we have color with a margin, maybe margin, maybe we can do a margin right. Margin right, it will disappearing. It will be going down, so we have to switch to a sign button, and then maybe 2 pieces. Yes, they are at the about the same position already. It's just that the picture is doing the havoc. Apps image. So I call it apps image with the height and the vertical align, and a cursor to do it. Apps image hovering S button. Still very weird, Okay. The image is not doing anything. Maybe let us find space. Um, hmm. Okay. I think this is a problem. See, nothing there already. Let's double check the code. The displays, heading height, displays, for sizing, nothing justified, vertical align, left button, please, tidying right, font primary, font size, junior button, hover, junior button, hover, um, right button, flex, row, X button, buttons right, cursor, border radius, detail color, padding, size. Maybe we deleted this first, then we let's see if we copy the whole element and maybe a cheat class app mesh. Nothing is showing here. Something not good. Cross web button. Aha. Huh? This is a typo here. Just now. Ah, yes, we have the button tag already. Use the typo here. Okay. Now we can. I mean, we still have a little trouble here about color. Color, I mean, we can do the color here. Text color. Maybe. And color here and back. Ah, okay, almost the same. Almost the same. Just that it's not really bright, but at least we have similar color to cheat the other people. So if we right here, we can move all the order. Now, Now we have almost the same. There's a minor issue with the alignment, but at least we have a, oh, we have still have a border here. We have a close-up border. Border here. Yeah, this one. So we have almost similar the header. So I guess due to the time concern, I will be reached to here the header, this one header. So for next lesson, I will try to finish out the text and the insert field, input field, and then for maybe a few more weeks, then we can continue with the language and the footer. Sorry about the waste time in 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 debugging the issue. So I guess this is the end of the session for the header of the Google page. I think this is all for me. Thank you.